Come on! Been a while. Week 8? Are you kidding me? We're week 8? Yes, Dustin, it's week 8. You look down at your paper to make sure I was right. I am right. It is week 8. That's what you were looking at. I'm not a dummy. Go ahead. Talk about something.
You just assume you know everything, but you don't. So, thank you to our sponsor, mybookie.ag. Get onto their website. Check them out. They got a mobile-friendly site as well. They got all the lines each week. Click on the link in the description. Use promo code SMACK. They'll hook you up with a sign-up bonus. And you should be using over-unders to help set up your lineup, so check them out for that as well.
Come on!
Let's get into those quarterbacks. Number 7, I want to talk about Deshaun Watson. The guy's been amazing, obviously. We all know that. He's coming off his bye, but you look at his matchup at Seattle, it's going to have some people a little hesitant to put him in the lineup, and I get it. But he's still very much a QB1. Unless you got one of the guys in front of him, I think you're still starting with confidence because what he can do with his legs, his floor is still very high every week. So we're not completely scared away from the matchup.
I'm going to talk about Derek Carr, who we have at number 11. And the thing that I want to notice about what I want to note about Carr is the first couple weeks, everyone's like, oh my goodness, he's breaking out, MVP candidate, he's going to be amazing. And then obviously there was a drop off with him. And what I really want to point out here is Thursday night we don't think it's an aberration. I do think Amari Cooper, while not that good, is a lot better than he had been playing, and I think Carr's a stud. Borderline, you check back on Sunday, he might be moving into our top 10 in fact.
And don't forget, if you got questions, you got lineup questions, trade questions, you just want to talk some football, post them in the comments.
Football?
We've been doing a very good job, I feel, of answering as many as we can. So post them in the comments of this video. Let's talk running backs. Mr. Mark Ingram. I mean, we all knew he was going to get a bump when Peterson left, but it's been a nice bump. I mean, he's been doing a lot, and they're still getting Kamara mixed in there as well. And with a matchup against Chicago, with more than likely them playing with a lead, you got to think Ingram's going to be in line for a lot of touches again this week, and a good chance at finding the end zone again.
Yeah, love Ingram on my team. Thank you for that trade, Mr. Barkley.
Anytime, sir.
It was a fair trade. Number 12, I want to talk about Joe Mixon. And this is one that went back and forth on because it's, the touches last week weren't there. Other than that, his touches have been in the high teens. So really at number 12, basically what we're saying is there's a very good chance this could be the breakout game. He is risky at this point, but we do like the chance that he could find the end zone. The Colts have given up the second most points to fantasy running backs this entire season, and it ain't a small sample size anymore. There's been a big chunk of the season. Got a good feeling it's going to be the Mixon breakout game.
Let's move on to the next 20. At number 21, Jalen Richard with Oakland. I know there is some debate on who the person to start is between him and Washington with Lynch being suspended for a game, but I really feel like it's Richard. He's got the bigger play potential. I think he'll get involved in the passing game. I think he has the higher floor out of the two. And we got him at 21, just making him a very high upside flex play for us this week. So we like him as a plug and play. If he's available on your wire and you're not liking any of your matchups, you might want to snag him.
Going down the list, we're going to talk about Marlon Mack. And if you notice, we have him ranked over Frank Gore for the first time all year. And while Gore's still getting the touches, it's just Mack does so much more with them. And at some point, the Colts are going to have to realize Mack is the future. This could even be the last year for Gore. I do love Mack. Keeper, dynasty leagues, I think he's a guy to hold on to. He's extremely explosive. And a little inside scoop, I actually talked to somebody that went to high school with Mack. Apparently, he's a really solid guy, super work ethic, good human being. That also makes me like Mack a little bit more.
Hey, makes me like him more too.
Yeah, good human beings are good. That's who you want to root for.
So getting to our FanDuel game.
FanDuel.
It's still going. We got enough people interested last week for us to get the green light again for this week. So thank you for everyone that's signing up.
I really appreciate it.
But please do it again if you haven't signed up yet. Go ahead and click on the link in the description. Sign up, deposit $10 or more. And that helps us out. Get into our $5 game. You can win a sweet t-shirt, and you can also win the cash that you would win in any other tournament. Congratulations to our winner last week, Zine, Z-I-N-N-E, took it down. FST Mike got 4th. We've had some solid finishes. We just can't quite get that.
Get over the hump.
It's coming though. Wide receivers, DeAndre Hopkins. I just wanted to talk about him as well. Just kind of the same deal. You look at the matchup at Seattle. It's just not as scary as it once was. I mean, Seattle's D is still very good, but when you look at some of the teams that they've played, they've shut down some not so good teams. And I just really feel like Houston's offense has enough firepower. They're going to move Hopkins around enough. They're going to find a way to get creative, get him the ball, and I still think he has huge touchdown potential.
Want to talk about Nelson Aguilar and the Philadelphia Eagles are solid football team. Carson Wentz is really coming into his own. And we had a debate, should we do Alshon or Aguilar? Actually, who should be ranked higher? Dustin wanted Alshon. Check back Sunday, that might happen.
No, I wanted Aguilar higher.
Oh, that's what I meant. That's what he wanted.
I wanted Aguilar higher.
I'm going to talk about Aguilar. 3 straight games with touchdowns. He's looked extremely solid. He's getting a ton of targets. There is the reason that Jeffrey is ranked above him. He still, in theory, is the #1, but coverage is rolling over to him. My debate back to Dustin to keep Jeffrey above him is that after the last 3 games, game footage, you're going to roll some coverage over to Aguilar, which should, in theory, leave Jeffrey open, is what my assumption is that's going to happen.
Aguilar's the way to go. The next 20, Ted Ginn Jr. We liked him as a deep sleeper coming into the year. It's been kind of a slow go, but he's been getting more involved as of late. Keep a close eye on the Willie Snead reports and also the Michael Thomas reports. He's a little banged up right now. If either one of them doesn't play, I'm excited about Ted Ginn again this week. I think he's got big play potential, and I think, you know, we got him at 27 for a reason. He's still a little boom or bust, but I think he's starting to become very interesting in the fantasy world right now.
Number 30, we got Juju Smith out there with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and obviously with the Martavis Bryant debacle that's going on. You know, Smith is the #2 receiver on a high-powered offense. Big Ben's going to be looking at Brown. They're going to be giving it to Bell a ton, who is rounding into midseason form. Thank you, Le'Veon Bell. I know I've been yelling at you. But with Smith being the solid #2 option, with Bryant probably not even playing this week, he's got to be on your radar as a wide receiver 3, so we ranked him as such.
Martavis.
I always screw that up.
Always.
And Benjamin. And Benjamin.
You call him Calvin Benjamin every time.
Kelvin Benjamin.
There we go.
Kelvin Benjamin.
Let's go to those tight ends. Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph at number 8. Somewhat of a disappointment so far this year, but you know it's been hard with those quarterbacks, the mess with all that going on, but Rudolph has been at least consistently involved as of late. Matchup against Cleveland, they've given up the 2nd most points to tight ends this year. It's the London game this week, so I don't really like the London games that much. Kind of the point totals seem to be a little bit lower, but I still like Rudolph this week. I think he's got a good chance to find the end zone and a good matchup against Cleveland.
I'm surprised you didn't sing.
Why?
You love to do the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer thing. It's really awkward and kind of creepy. All right, next, O.J. Howard at number 11. Got 2 touchdowns last week.
Okay.
One was wide open, like it was his first career touchdown. But Howard is a stud. You watch him out there, and the more he's going to get more comfortable. And I know we always say it takes a little while for tight end rookies. It's been half a season. It might not take him much longer. Howard is a stud. Keeper dynasty leagues, you have to be grabbing him. This guy has potential to be a top 3 tight end in fantasy for a long time. If you're having troubles, you got bye weeks, Howard's a great guy to scoop, see what he does. You might be even to ride him out for the rest of the year. The talent is there.
And Ingram might help bust the rookie tight end kind of thing that's been going on. There hasn't been many good ones. Defenses, number 3, Cincinnati Bengals going up against Indy. I know the Bengals D hasn't been all that amazing this year. They've had some flashes, but Indy's given up the most points to opposing defenses. The over-under on mybookie.ag is 41, which that's a little high, but the Bengals are favored by 10.5 points, which is crazy. So they're not expecting much out of the Indy offense, and neither are we. So we got Cincinnati at number 3.
Ravens playing the Finns. We got the Ravens at number 7, and over-under on mybookie.ag is 37, which what that means, math kids out there, think how the final score is going to be. I'll give you a second. Did you get it right? It's 20-17 in favor of the Ravens. I didn't tell them what the spread was. Spread was Ravens -3, so how the heck would have you known that? If you got it right, good for you. Which that means Vegas thinks they're only going to score 17 points, which means that if there's some turnovers, low scoring, equals a good option to play the Ravens.
So that is our Week 8 rankings. We update them all the way up until kickoff. So go ahead, click on the link in the description, check out the most updated rankings. Subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment, give us a thumbs up.